Under those flashing lights, Cindy realized they weren't there to save her. They say a mother's love is unconditional, eternal, but what happens when that love twists into something dark, something unrecognizable? Cindy Rodriguez Singh looked like anyone you might pass at the grocery store. Smiling eyes, long brown hair, soft voice, the kind of woman you'd never think twice about. To neighbors, she was a caring mother, raising her young son Noel in a quiet Texas town. But behind closed doors, something was breaking. A perfect picture beginning to crack. It started with whispers, family members noticing odd things, how Cindy seemed distant. She'd stop returning calls. She'd talk about moving away, about a new life. Her husband said she seemed paranoid, obsessed with the idea that someone was after her. Then Noel stopped showing up. The little boy with the bright smile, gone. No goodbye, no explanation. And what came next still sends chills through everyone who's heard this story. When investigators first came to the house, Cindy told them her son was safe, that he was with family. But those stories changed every time she spoke. One day, she said Noel was with his father in Mexico. Another day, she said he'd gone to live with relatives. But when police checked, none of it was true. There was no father in Mexico, no relatives, no child. That's when the search began. Detectives went through the family home, and what they found didn't add up. Toys covered in dust, a bed that hadn't been slept in for months, old food still sitting out, and then something that made their stomachs drop. Cindy's passport, her husband's, every family document except Noel's. It was as if the boy had been erased. When police tried to question Cindy again, she was gone, vanished overnight. Along with her new husband, she left everything behind, except one thing, her car. It was found abandoned near the Dallas-Fort Worth airport. No plane tickets, no trace, nothing. That was March 2023. For months, the story spread across Texas. Flyers, news segments, desperate pleas from the child's biological father. And in every photo, that same face. Noel's round cheeks, those big eyes, the kind of innocence that makes your heart ache. People wanted to believe he was alive, that somehow he was safe. But as time went on, hope began to fade. Cindy's name was added to the federal watch list. The FBI stepped in, and as investigators dug deeper, they uncovered a chilling detail. Before disappearing, Cindy had been searching online for how to obtain false identification and how to cross borders without detection. She was no longer a worried mother. She was a fugitive. Over a year passed. No leads, no confirmed sightings. Then in July 2025, the case broke wide open. An FBI agent working with Interpol traced a digital trail. Credit card transactions linked to a fake ID in India. At first, it seemed impossible. India? Halfway across the world? But when agents followed the lead, what they found left them speechless. Cindy Rodriguez Singh had been living under a new name, blending into the chaos of Delhi's crowded streets, working in small shops, renting rooms, smiling at people who had no idea who she really was. A mother wanted for the murder of her 5-year-old son, living freely among millions like a ghost in plain sight. When local police finally moved in, it was early morning. A quiet neighborhood, narrow alleys, strayed dogs barking in the distance. They found her hiding inside a tiny flat, curtains drawn, clutching a worn photograph. It was Noel. When they handcuffed her, she didn't fight, didn't cry, didn't speak, just stared straight ahead, silent, cold, almost empty. That image spread like wildfire. The once smiling mother turned international fugitive, now a headline, captured in India. And yet, even now, there's one question that no one can answer. What happened to Noel? The truth remains hidden, somewhere between what Cindy says and what everyone fears. She told investigators her son is safe, but every lead, every search, every possible location ends in nothing. The child's body was never found. Some say she left him with someone and fled. Others whispered darker theories that she ended his life before escaping. But the thing about true horror is that it's not always what we see, it's what we don't. Noel's disappearance became a ghost story without the ghost, a haunting reminder that evil doesn't always wear a mask. Sometimes it smiles. Sometimes it tucks its child into bed. Neighbors remember the way Cindy used to wave at them while watering her plants. They remember seeing Noel playing outside, running with his toy cars, laughing. And then one day, the laughter stopped. People say grief can change a person, but no one can quite explain the transformation that turned a mother into a name on the FBI's 10 most wanted list. When she was flown back to the United States under guard, her face was unreadable, blank, detached. Reporters shouted questions as she was escorted through the airport. "Where's Noel? Why did you do it?" She said nothing. Only one thing broke through that cold silence. When they asked her if she regretted running, she whispered, "You don't understand. They'll never understand." No one knows what she meant. Some think she's delusional. Others believe there's something more to her story, something that hasn't come out yet. But one thing is certain, the disappearance of Noel Rodriguez Alvarez has become one of the most chilling and heartbreaking mysteries in recent memory. A case that began with love and ended in shadows. Every investigator who's worked the case says the same thing. They feel him in that empty bedroom, in those old photos, as if his presence lingers, waiting to be found. Maybe it's guilt, maybe it's grief, or maybe it's something deeper. Because the truth about this story is that it's not just about one mother or one missing boy. It's about how evil hides behind familiarity, how people we trust the most can sometimes be the ones we should fear. And perhaps it's about how some ghosts don't haunt houses, they haunt the living. The world saw Cindy Rodriguez Singh as a mother. The FBI saw her as a fugitive. But somewhere in between those two versions lies the real story, a story we may never fully know. Until then, Noel remains missing, his smile frozen in photographs, his name whispered through news reports. And Cindy Rodriguez Singh, the woman who ran halfway around the world to hide from the truth, now sits in a cold cell, her secrets locked away with her. But the question still lingers in the dark. Where is Noel? Sometimes the scariest monsters aren't hiding under the bed. They're the ones tucking you in at night.